Hello and welcome to the chat with Mr. Narayan Iyer from Indian Development Foundation. IDF, as it is called, has been involved in various social activities. Let us hear more from the man himself, Mr. Iyer. Welcome, Mr. Iyer.
Namaskar.
Please tell us something about IDF and the activities it has been involved in.
IDF, the full form is Indian Development Foundation, formerly known as Indian Leprosy Foundation. We started some 32 years back. Our main focus areas are health, education, and development. Under health, we are working into leprosy program, tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, cancer, blindness control program. Under education, we have the Bala Gurukul system, providing education for the underprivileged and the tribal, rural, and also into the slum pockets. We also have a student leadership program where we create a lot of student leaders in the schools and colleges and universities, and also sponsoring children of the leprosy affected, TB affected people in the country. Under development, we have women empowerment program, providing vocational training, providing them adult education, and also we have a newly started program which is called Employability Quotient Program for the graduates who are being churned out of the universities, a kind of a finishing school for them.
That's great. How long have you been associated with IDF?
I'm into the 25th year of my operation. In fact, I completed 24 successful years, and I joined when I was a class 11th standard student. It's a long journey.
What is the major source of funding for your organization and what are your future plans?
The resources have been always being pulled from the general public. In fact, we believe in the larger the bottom of pyramid is, we call the BOP. So we go to the student community, we go to the general public, we talk to them, and we appeal to them for the cause, and they come forward and support the program. Off late, with the buzz of CSR that we have been hearing, so we are trying to go to the corporate sectors too, involving them into the employee engagement program and other stuff where they see the work first and then they try to individually contribute. And I'm sure with the CSR in line, the companies will also pull in their resources for the development programs.
Roughly, what is the percentage of funds that come from corporates?
As far as the resource that is being pulled in or the work that we are trying to do for IDF, 80% are from educational institutions, students, and it's maybe some 5% that we are getting it from the corporate.
That's quite less. According to you, how important is the mandate of CSR and what are your expectations from it?
With the new policy that has been drawn, development can be reached out to the maximum people in a shorter period of time. We should not delay it now, and the resources should be pulled in from all across. The resource crunch had made the development a kind of an impediment. So now that the corporates are coming forward and trying to pull in a lot of money into the societal development program, so the development should take bit faster. What we could do it in 50 years or 60 years should be done in 5 years down the line. That's what we should aim for.
It has been a year of the mandate being in place. What do you think? Where do we stand?
Yes, the buzzword is there, whereas the awareness on CSR has not reached to the people or not reached to the corporate too. The corporates are trying to adjust themselves and try to understand what the policies, things like that. Many corporates have not understood what CSR is, so kind of a greater awareness need to be built in, where they understand what their responsibility is towards the societal program. It's not only the monetary part. Monetary, of course, they can keep aside the 2% what the policy lays down. Beyond that, if the societal engagement, like or employee engagement program, where the employees can also participate into the development area is concerned, that will in fact pave way for development through in a faster way.
According to the recent news reports, very few companies have complied with the new CSR norms. What is your view on it?
Maybe it will take 2 3 years down the line to understand what does a corporate need to do for the societal development, because their more focus area have been production distribution of their own products, and where social work was not their forte. So now that they fall in line with the societal development, I'm sure in through 2 3 years time they should be able to sync well and try to do better things in the days to come.
Do you think the New Companies Act can be played around well by the corporate houses to avoid the mandatory spending that they are supposed to?
I don't think any evasion should take place consciously. Even the corporate should not do that. In fact, they are only by participating, the corporate is trying to make a better society. In fact, if you have a corporate company and the roads are not better, and your surroundings where the education systems are not all right, you need to see that the people down the line, the people who have not received education, they are the people who can be absorbed by better giving better education and absorbed to the company. So they also have a role to play. NGOs can deliver it, government can make the policies, corporate can pool in their resources. I think the triangle can work together and development can be made faster.
How do you think we can streamline the funds from the corporates to the needs of the nation?
Uh, the needs of the nation are so many. We need to see that the nation building program, the corporate fund can be certainly pulled in a big way, and the development that we are looking into can be made faster. There are organizations who have not been able to raise resources for that matter, but they have their own expertise in the line. So if these resources can be pulled in, if they can pull in the resources to the right NGO, they need to select the NGO. Maybe they need to see the transparency, the accountability of the organization, how far they have been working. And once they plow back their money into the societal development, it will have a manifold effect.
Since you've been talking about selection of an NGO, do you think with the increase of so many NGOs these days, it has been difficult to fund and to find donations?
If you see the number of NGOs in this country as concerned, I think there are 6 million, 60 lakhs of NGOs are there. And there are only 6 lakhs of villages. So 10 NGOs can work in a village and clear up the program. But how many NGOs are working and how many are not need to be first streamlined. But there are big many NGOs who network with other organizations, and the corporate should be able to have the ABC list of the NGOs, and they can plow the money properly. And through the sustainability report that they are going to draw in, or through the due diligence report that they're going to draw in, we can see that the corporates can spot out proper NGOs and channelize their resources for the better development.
How do you think can we have transparency in the funds allocated to the funds allocated by the corporate houses and the spending by the NGOs?
It's all on the faith base. In fact, if you have full faith in the organization, one should work for the transparency, because it should be the hallmark. Tomorrow, it's not one day game. It's not a quick run game. We need to see a long term sustainable program. So transparency should be there. In a scenario like India, where people feel I give 100 rupees and 100 rupees should reach the patient, which may not happen, because there are some admin costs, there are traveling costs. A doctor may give their free time, but we need to see that the doctor is transported from one place to the other. We get a lot of old clothes for that matter. To segregate old clothes, we need volunteers. To pack the old clothes, we need materials, the logistics to transport the materials. So there are some costs, admin costs, which are involved. So we need to have some admin costs, and the corporates should see that a reasonable amount is being given.
Since you've been in the service industry for so long, I would like to know which are the 5 burning issues which you would like to address at priority.
So there are certainly 5 issues that we need to tackle. One is the foremost is education. If the people are all educated, and we can see development can be reached faster, then they come to know that their health is important. Once they are educated, the health. So the health of the people, health is not taken as a felt need in our country, where people they just don't go for any precautions, and there are no. They wait for everything to come at the last, and they go for the health issues is a big burning issue. Then you have the employment. There are very many individuals coming out from the universities, colleges. They need jobs. So jobs are not available. So we need to make jobs ready. I think there are some 10 lakhs of jobs need to be done every month. So which means 120 lakhs of jobs to be made ready for per year annually. The women folk are a big number which need to be given, or which need to be given jobs, empowered, because if you educate a woman, you can educate the whole of the village, is what we have learned. So if the women folks are developed, either vocational or they are given adult education, they can do a lot. Then we have the energy sector, like it can be energy, can be the electricity, or it can be water, or it can be food. We need to conserve things. In fact, that responsibility also people should take it up, because down the line there water wars are going to come up, electricity is going to be in a shortage, so we need to see that the conservation should be taken up. So these are some of the 5 issues which people should take up, and through the CSR and NGOs and corporates coming together, we can do many things faster. We can reach out to people.
How important do you find the role of individuals to make this world a better place to live?
That's a very, very good question. In fact, when we are talking about CSR, the corporate social responsibility, we also need to talk about citizen social responsibility or individual social responsibility. Every individual should feel the responsibility of taking care of their society. Societal development is foremost important. They should not feel that, okay, this is not my job, or this is not my cup of tea. For example, there was a young boy sitting in the beach where there were a lot of starfishes which were brought by the waves, and this young boy was putting back into the sea. And there was a passerby who came and found what this young boy is doing. He said, I'm putting the starfish back into the sea. He said, what are you trying to tell? He said, I am trying to see that at least 5 starfishes' lives are being saved. So, if we are able to touch upon even one individual for that matter, or few individual for that matter, let us make it happen. Let us not see the big problem, but let us try to solve smaller and smaller problem, and we can see the big problem doesn't exist at all. So this is what we are trying to see. So there are a lot many things that every individual can do. So this individual social responsibility, the responsibility per se, has to come from the students in the colleges, in the schools. Then when they are into the corporate leaders, I am sure when they hold big positions down the line, they will understand, okay, we have been taught this social responsibility when we were young, so we need to take it up when we are into the even the corporates. So I think the CSR can work very well at that time.
That's true. Thank you so much, Mr. Iyer, for giving us your time.
Thank you so much.